Hello viewers, another stock car challenge for you, the Ferrari 458 Speciale. Here it is, a beautiful machine. We're going to give it a go in S-Class, trying to beat as many people as possible in a stock car. No tuning, no upgrades. Gone for the Mercedes-Benz driver suit, because I heard that Ferrari and Mercedes are best of buds right now. And we're going to kick off proceedings here at Top Gear. Now, this race is, well, it's Top Gear, it's going to be crap. But the next race is going to be one of, honestly, the worst ones I've ever been part of in my whole history, my whole career of being rammed on Forza Motorsport. And that is quite saying something, as this guy kind of obliges to tried to smash me off, but he only actually rolls himself over quite unceremoniously. So this is the thing with Top Gear. Top Gear is an absolute mess. It's a crime against motorsport to even consider holding a race here. You can see track limits go out of the window straight away. So there's not really much going on in the way of proper genuine racing here. It's just survive and hope you don't die, especially because it's got a crossover here. I mean, really? Right, racing with a crossover. I suppose it's a laugh, but it is absolutely ridiculous at the same time. Into the penultimate corner, the name escapes me at this moment. Then it's Gambon, final turn. Well, kind of slow down quite a lot more than you think, and get it turned in much better than this Lotus kind of managed. Up into turn one, very very easy to go deep and long into this turn, kind of like exactly what that Lotus just did on the outside. So the Ferrari 458 here, the Speciale version, I think the the PI is about 786, as this other Ferrari goes very wide. So I'm not giving away much PI, but it is fairly crucial. It does always make a difference. He managed to get back past me, as I made a mistake. As we then come through the follow through, I go really wide onto the grass, actually use that sliding momentum to go around the outside almost, to give him a bit of space, as he actually keeps the position into the final turn. It's going through, it's going to be a drag race now on the main straight. You see there, this car really does have a good amount of power. Into turn one, up into third place, going deep on the brakes, and we've taken a fairly nice line, but he come out of nowhere to chop me off. We're going to lose another position. So quite what he was thinking there, I do not know. But then again, does anyone know what any Forza person is ever thinking? And again, he almost sideswipes me as we go through Chicago towards the Hammerhead. So fast forwarding here, again, track limits getting absolutely wrecked and abused. Into the follow through, the Mustang ahead just gives up. He just drives straight into that wall. To be honest, that's the easy way out. Just end your life, because this race is such an atrocity. Final turn, this Viper again, he's trying to find a way out by driving himself into a wall at high speed. Hasn't quite worked out for him, he's still alive. So he kind of has to deal with another 7 laps of this chaos and insanity. Quite how 10 laps of Top Gear got voted for, I do not know. But we are here, still with 6.5 laps left to go. So this is the point where track limits truly get abused. The Viper comes through and claims second. Later on that lap, I can't even explain what is going on. I mean, this is supposed to be a racing game, but I'm not sure you can quite class it as that sometimes. Into this corner, Viper catches up with me, lap 9, just drives off, bump and run, if you like. Well, I'm going to match you with your bump and run, mate. So I come through the follow through, have a load of that, get off, get wrecked, mate. And then this little Subaru 360 comes out of nowhere, or is it the above? I couldn't quite see. But that attempt kind of worked out, and in the end I finished second, which, well, I mean, it's nothing to be proud of. We move then to this race. It's going to get really filthy. This guy really needs to be wearing one of these chemical suits because of how dirty and dangerous this is about to get. So this is it. I think honestly one of my worst races I've ever been part of on Forza. I can't remember quite a bad one, or such a bad one as this. into the first corner, just get pushed on and collected. Again, really clumsy. People behind just not braking a little bit earlier than you need to on the first corner. So down in 19th, and I'm going to pretty much stay here for the majority of the race. Beyond the Ferrari F50 into the next turn. It goes kind of up the inside, a bit clumsy, but okay, we're going to survive it. And just nip in ahead as we come into the infield. Lamborghini going very, very wide. Was that a Lamborghini? I couldn't quite see. And plenty of cars ghosted, or one car ghosted. This is the corner where no one quite knows where the actual track limit is, so I've just taken that line. Whether or not that's a good line, I don't know, as it's one of those top 10 mysteries. Where is the actual track limit? You know, in at number 1, where is the track limit on that corner? So we're back with our Corvette friend who pushed us wide at turn 1 into the next corner. On the brakes, okay. So it's actually been a couple of corners since we've last been hit, which is a miracle. We've got a big group ahead. We can get well into the top 10 here. But no. Okay, Corvette, he wants to go for a push. But we're okay. One guy off. Gain a position, lose a position to the Corvette. Now then, into turn 1. Can he take it properly this time without rounding the rear end? And I just back off. And no, he can't. He's just going to go into the back of me. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to collect this other Ferrari, the Corvette, just unceremoniously bundling us both wide. So chaos on turn 1, 2 laps in a row. We are going for the full combo here. Can we go 5 laps in a row, getting smashed off at turn 1? So then down into 18th. Quite how I haven't rage quit at this point, I don't know. And well, once again, just into the next corner, just get rammed wide by a Mercedes. Yep, that's the way it's going to go in this one, I think. It's just once you're down in this midfield or rear end of the grid, you just get surrounded by absolute morons who just have zero idea of what they're doing. And the problem, well, the thing is that they don't seem to realise that by hitting everyone and getting spun off all the time isn't going to help. Like, it doesn't help your cause. If you want to be finished up the top, like if you're going to be hitting everyone all the time, it's not going to help you because people just hit you back, and you're just going to end up in last the whole time. So, coming around the outside of this guy, the Ferrari, right? He's just going to turn across, and he's going to punt me off because this was going back to the beginning of the lap. The Corvette punted me through turn 1 into that Ferrari. So the Ferrari just sees, oh, I've been hit by this red Ferrari, I'm going to hit him back. Obviously it wasn't my fault. And well, down in 19th out of 20, the guy in last is a little bit behind. Here we go, we're going to fast forward for half a lap or so. This was probably the most peaceful half a lap in the race, mainly because I was just punted so far behind everyone that I couldn't actually get hit by anyone at all because I was so far back. Eventually, catching back up with this Ferrari, a couple of Ferraris back here. Perhaps the Ferrari is the brand to avoid. If you see people in a Ferrari, just drive well clear of them, myself included. So then through the carousel, I'm going to try to get out the inside of the F50. It's driven a little bit wide. It's okay. It's a bit of bumping. I'm going to look up the inside. Is he going to go for the secondary punt? No, not quite. Look up the inside. He's going to drive wide. Okay, you can't blame me for that. That was 100% on you. As we pull away in 18th, a glorious 18th position. Wow, how bad can this get? Almost into the back of the F50, just about working out the brakes in time to avoid the contact. Past the pink Porsche. 17th, a high of 17th. Amazing. As we go into the weird infield, into no track limits corner. I think that's a good line. It doesn't seem to flash dirty even though you're kicking up loads of dust. Up the inside of this guy, he's going to leave me plenty of space. Okay. And through here, almost make contact, just about leaving enough room, and he just gets a bit of oversteer, or maybe it was deliberate, I don't know. I don't even know anymore. Who the hell knows? And we're off the track for about the 4,000th time. Down the hill into the 90-degree left, around the outside. I've got deja vu. Is he going to punt me around this time around? No. Perhaps he's realised the truth of the situation. So then, 16th. I can get 15th here, maybe. And we have 1 lap left to do it. There we go, crossing the line. Lap 5 of 5. Into the fast kink. And there we go. We've got a Corvette just sitting on the racing line. F50 crashes into him. No time to react. I'm round. So Corvettes just cause absolute anarchy in this race, punting people on at turn 1, then just parking. You know, just when you give up, don't really park the car off the track. Just park it on the apex of the highest speed corner on the circuit. Full recommendation from me. Forza 101 basically. Park your car on the apex of the fastest corner. Always good advice. So then down into 18th. I couldn't quite believe my luck in this race, like how bad it was. I think I must have stepped under a ladder whilst, I don't know, just doing every sort of bad luck omen that you could do in the world. I did it today before this race, and obviously it's all come back to haunt me. So I'm trying to go past this guy. Can we claim a couple of positions just before the end? I was hoping that they would all kill each other there rather than going up the inside. The Porsche kind of does kill himself, so I'm going to go back past him. This guy just gives up. He's just given up the will to live. And in the end, I finished 16th. So not quite 6th, but it does have a 6 in it. We finished 16th in what has got to be one of the worst races of all time. It was an absolute displeasure to be part of it. Quite why I didn't rage quit, or how I didn't rage quit, I don't know. But there we go. Now, contrast to that, I'm going to show you a good race. It can happen. It can happen. Indianapolis this time around. So got 5 laps, and again still in the Ferrari, fully tuned this time, and yeah, into turn 1. Quite how that happened, I'm not sure. Kind of got punted round, but then rescued from the other side at the same time, and well, it saved me. I got 3 up into 5th position by this point, so not too bad a start. So this is I don't even actually know the layouts here. There's so many layouts at Indianapolis. I don't even know what series does them, what series used to do them. So I have no idea anymore. We're finding ourselves battling with another Ferrari. I think it might just be the regular Ferrari 458. As we go down the middle straight into turn 8 on the brakes. Going to look around the outside, think about it. I was about to make contact there. You have that dodgy contact where you just hit their rear quarter panel and then they kind of can't steer anymore. We're just desperately trying to avoid that situation. So then on to the oval, the banking now. A full GT up the inside, give him a car width, and he just backs out. Although he actually doesn't, he comes back for a second bite of the cherry, and eventually does get through up into 5th. So then on to the main straight, and look past the full GT, just about got a speed advantage, not much of one though. It's the full GT, really good car for S-Class here. It's got up the inside, it's a good move actually, and we're going to hit the apex nicely. Got a nice train of cars here. So this is the main difference, I think, you know, in Forza. If you get yourself at the front, like top sort of 6 or 7, or even top 10 it can be, or sometimes it's only the top 3, then you'll be surrounded by some decent players who have some respect and weren't raised like an absolute moron. But when you get pushed towards the back, you get the idiots basically. It's quite a simple matter. And once you're in there with them, it's basically a prison sentence because you're not going to be getting out for a while. As we sweep around the outside, he's really early on the brakes. He's going to give me the inside line for the next part of the chicane. So up into 4th, good little fight there. As we then go through the apex of this final turn onto the back straight, turn 11, and then I suppose this is turn 12 here. Very fast turn, but it can get awkward because when you sort of join the oval, you get a bit of a bump, and the car kind of wants to straighten itself out. You see the car wanting to do a wheelie through here, 160 miles an hour, as we cross the line to begin lap 3. So closely followed by the Ferrari. He's not going to give up on this one. As it does go for the move, I'll give him the space. It was a very good move actually. I think I was fairly on the limit. of my own car, and well, he can only hold it for one corner before he just bails off the circuit. So keeping 4th overall, but we do have to turn our attention to the full GT, the classic full GT, which is one of the absolute quickest cars in S-Class. So if we can hold him off for another 2.5 laps, then we've done very well. So the Ferrari 458 here it feels good, it feels decent. It is a bit clunky in the corners, very good in a straight line, but just a little bit stiff through the turns. That'd be my main criticism of it. But Ferrari is typically a good brand on this game. There are some brands which just don't really do that well on Forza Motorsport, Lamborghini being one of them, especially the sort of faster Lamborghinis in S-Class. Maybe the classic ones in A-Class are a bit better, like the Countach and the Diablo, but some of them in like the S-Class, the faster Lamborghinis are rubbish. Mercedes aren't that great on this game. It's just the way it works. I think Mercedes are like sort of just too heavy and like to slide about too much. Some brands just kind of are just suited to the way that this game works. Ferrari seems to be one of them. Of course, there's plenty of Ferraris in the game. Loads of them work very well. 250 GT, the F50, of course. Like, it's a classic car for S-Class. The F50 GT. Sorry, the F50 always works. And there's, the list goes on basically. There's so many. But we are slowly catching the guys ahead, which is a good sign because they're driving. The light blue car is the Carrera GT, or Porsche, of course, and then the green car is the Noble M600, and they're both very good cars for S-Class. As the full GT is coming up the inside now, is he going to get the job done? I'm late on the brakes. I'm going to look around the outside and just give him the car width, and then he eventually bails out. So it's a good attempt and good respect. It just shows you a massive difference. You find yourself at the front of the grid. People have got a lot more respect and just racing knowledge, and they're not willing just to push you out of the way to get past. To be honest, there's just no point in that. If I've pushed them out of the way and win, that's kind of, what's the point? Unless they've pushed me off first. But it's a hollow victory winning just by killing everyone. Although as fun as it might be, it isn't the best way to win. So it's always just good to show some respect, and the 4GT and myself are just giving each other a car width through the chicane. That's now the Porsche and the Noble getting very close for comfort. One of them going very wide. Now it looks like they're very close throughout this whole race, and you might think, oh, they're probably going to end up smash each other off at some point. But I always think of it the other way. They've been with each other the whole race. That probably shows that they can race against each other and are willing to race against each other. As you can see, that just the direction change through that chicane didn't quite want to change as I wanted it to. Getting a bit of oversteer at the wrong moment, and it leaves me vulnerable to the 4GT, who now goes through up into 4th on the last lap. So just about making just a mistake at the wrong time. Losing out down into 5th. Can the 4GT, you see how much quicker he's gone through that chicane. He's flying away. Maybe if he got past me quicker, he might have been able to catch up with 2nd and 3rd there. We've got a back marker up ahead. Hopefully it won't affect the result as we now come through the final turn on the circuit. So it's going to be a 5th. So it's disappointing to lose out right at the end there, but it was a good race on the whole, and a nice contrast to probably the worst race of all time. But I do want to know your thoughts on that race. Let me know your thoughts as always, guys. Thank you for watching, and of course if you did enjoy, hit the like button and subscribe for more. I shall see you next time, guys. Thank you very much for watching as always. Goodbye.
Listen.